Hello, and welcome back to the Efficient Skillet. My name is Willie, and I hope that you're doing extremely well out there. I know that I am. Today's cooking video is brought to you in part by Dr. David Bisher, MD, family practice at its best. Dr. Bisher offers certified family practice and is located right here in Livingston. Accepting new patients, give Dr. Bisher a call at 936-327-1105. Click Dr. Bisher's ad on our homepage. Today I'm going to show y'all how to make a really good chicken and biscuit casserole. Okay, so when it comes to making chicken biscuit casserole, the first thing we're going to do is take I've got my skillet turned up all the way, and I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of real butter and throw it in my skillet here. And as always, what would a cooking video be without our old friend Mr. Bamboo Spoon? So we're just going to stir that around a little bit, and then we're going to throw in 1 cup of onions, chopped onions. Yellow onion, white onion, whatever you like, as long as it's onions. Then we're going to do a 1/2 cup of chopped carrots. 1/2 cup of chopped celery. 1/2 cup of frozen peas. We're going to add 1 solid pinch of salt. And what would food be if you didn't have black pepper in it? So we're going to basically salt and pepper it to taste. That 1 pinch that I put in, it's about equivalent to a teaspoon. We're going to stir this around a little bit. Let these vegetables like those carrots and celery and stuff get softened up. Okay, this has been cooking for about 3 minutes now, and so what I'm going to do now is take a 1/4 teaspoon of dry thyme. And then we're going to put in 1/3 cup of dry white wine. Now, when it comes to using a dry white wine, I got this at H-E-B right here in Livingston. And this Beringer wine, if you flip it over to the back, it has a little meter on here. At one end it says sweet, and at the other end it says dry. This one is almost completely on dry, so that's suitable. That's a good dry white wine right there for cooking. It's cheap, it's like $5 a bottle or something. And there's plenty to use for other cooking or whatever you need wine for. What we're going to do now is just let this wine cook and reduce. While that's cooking, I've got 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts here. And what you want to do is they're fully cooked, boneless, skinless. And what you want to do is shred them. So that's what I'm doing with my fork. You just take your fork, be careful, don't poke your other hand with it, and shred these chicken breasts. Now that our wine's reduced, I'm going to throw in now a tablespoon of fresh thyme. A few minutes ago, we put in a 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme. Now a tablespoon of fresh thyme. Man, if y'all could just smell this, it smells so good. We're going to go ahead and add our shredded chicken breasts into this. We're going to reduce our heat. We're going to reduce it down to about 325. It was on 450. Now we're down to 325. Stir this around. Now we're going to add 4 cups of chicken broth. Okay, this has been simmering for about 5 minutes now. So what we're going to do is take our 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream, pour that in. And then you take 2 tablespoons of cold water and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and mix them together, and that's called a slurry. And you want to take, that's going to be a nice thickening agent. And so what we're going to do is take this slurry and just pour it in here like this. And let's continue to stir and let it simmer for about 5 more minutes, and then we're ready to go to the next step. One more ingredient that I wanted to add was 2 dashes of Worcestershire sauce. So 1 and 2. That should do it. And stir it in. And this stuff's ready. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn my heat off, and then we're just going to set this aside as we get ready to make biscuits. It's a very easy process. The biscuits are very easy to do. What I've got here is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of dried basil and a tablespoon of fresh parsley and a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to mix this together dry like this, real easy. And then we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. Next, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of real butter. What I'm going to do is take my pastry knife and just mix this butter get it all mixed in with this. Pastry knives are good for that. Angel, my wife, introduced me to pastry knives a few years ago. It makes blending stuff like butter and shortening and stuff like that with flour a whole lot easier. Very quickly gets that stuff mixed in with your flour. And then the last thing we're going to add is 1 cup of milk. And we're going to mix this all together. It's pretty easy, straightforward. What's cool, one of the cool things about these biscuits is there's no rolling involved or anything like that. You just want to put all these ingredients, the last one being milk, just put them all in there and then just mix it together till it's basically like this. And what we want to do is, now that we got that mixed together with that baking soda and baking powder in there, we're just going to set that aside. See how easy that was? We're just going to set it aside and let that baking soda and baking powder activate. In the meantime, we're going to take a casserole pan like this. This is I don't know the dimensions of this pan. What, 9 by 13, something like that. Anyway, take you a casserole pan like this. And what we're going to do is take our chicken mixture that we made and pour it into the pan. While we're waiting for that baking powder and baking soda to activate, just kind of make sure your chicken inside your mixture here is kind of dispersed pretty good. There we go, about like that. Okay, we're ready to start putting our biscuits into the casserole. What I got here is not a large ice cream scoop, but a smaller one. And what I'm going to do is just take it and just go like this and put them in there until all your biscuits are inside, till all your biscuit dough is in there. Give them about a 1/2 inch apart because they will expand and you want to give them the room. So put them about a 1/2 inch apart and just start putting them in. Very easy to do. Get a little closer there. Just keep going, just like this. It's kind of sticky, so you got to do it a few times to get it to fall out of the ice cream scooper. If you don't have an ice cream scooper, just use a tablespoon and your fingers and you can get them in there. And all these, just about used all my dough here. And it works out perfect, as you can see. Now for this last bit of dough here, I'm going to take my spatula, and that way I don't waste any of it. If I ever had a pet peeve in life, it's wasting food. I do not like that. especially since I love to eat. But wasting food just doesn't fly with me, man. There we go. And our ice cream scooper, we'll put one right here. I think we got enough for one more right there. Get in there. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready to pop this puppy in the oven. I've got my oven preheated to 425 degrees, so we're just gonna take this and slide it in there. And what you want to do is leave it in there until your biscuits are slightly brown. So we're looking at around 30 minutes, possibly 40, but leave it in there with those biscuits. That biscuit dough is going to expand and it's going to lightly brown. It's going to fill up the top of the dough and it's going to just be a beautiful sight to behold. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes now, so let's take a look. And, oh, baby. Oh, my Lord. Oh, man. Wow. Look at that. Whew. It's definitely aesthetically pleasing. Well, here goes nothing. So here we go. Here it is. Here's one of the biscuits. I'll do this one. It's very soft. The fork just cuts right into that biscuit. There's no hardness to it. Now make sure when you cook these that you do them light brown, the biscuits, because if you do them dark brown, then they won't be as soft. So you want light brown. You definitely want them brown, but not too dark of a brown. I guess the next big thing to do is to taste it. Oh man. Wow, that is so good. That is so American classic, man. Those biscuits are just so delicious. They're soft, they're hot. You got that chicken with all that thyme and peas, carrots, celery, heavy whipping cream, and all the other stuff we put in. Wow, the carrots, it's so good. Man, this is perfect for a cold day. If it's a cold day outside, you come in and you got something like this, just eating this will warm you up. That is so delicious. You're gonna love this, folks. It's not hard to do. You can do it. So anyway, we hope you try it and we hope you like it. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button. If you want to leave any comments, feel free to comment below, and you can email us, efficientskillet@gmail.com. Make America great again.